What's up? Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Holistic Cannabis Show, where I am always your hostess, Dr. Yolanda Henderson, and always joined by my wonderful co host. Who are you today?
Hen.
Hen. Woo! Straight hen. Hen dog. Henny hen. Hen.
Anything is possible.
Henny. All right, that's our son's nickname. All right, y'all. This is what we do. We are a comedian family. We are telling you all about cannabis and health and how to utilize the benefits of being holistic, mind, body, and soul. Cannabis and utilizing for your health and your body and your soul and spirituality, along with Mr. Henderson's wonderful aspect in finance. All right, Mr. Hen, can you give us all of the outlets to watch the show?
Yeah, Manifest TV on YouTube. You can go back and watch the replays. Just type in Manifest TV, look for the Holistic Cannabis Show. On Instagram and Facebook, the handle is manifesttv.status. And on Periscope and Twitter, status_network_. You also call the studio 470-251-4647.
That's right. You go back and watch those replays if you've never seen our show. So this is what our about third year in this show in the studio. So we're excited about that, everyone. This journey, to educate the people about cannabis and how it helps and benefits the body. So, we just excited to keep on educating and giving the news on cannabis. So, today's topic is none other than military and cannabis, all right? Or cannabis in the military. Whichever way you want to utilize it or say it, it's coming, it's here. I've told you all before, this is what we were rallying for on Veterans Day. This is the results. This is for everyone who blood, sweat, tears advocated for medical cannabis in the military, in and out of the military, for our veterans as well, and for our civilians who desperately begged and pleaded for this to happen. So we have a couple of videos that we're going to watch in regards to medical cannabis in the military. It's going to explain how women or how veterans or military personnel are working to help the cannabis get into the military so that we can be safe and have a risk reduction of PTSD and anxiety attacks and all the other issues that come along with doing a job to serve the country, but utilizing it for a health and wellness benefit. This is something that is going to, just like your vitamins, A, B, C, D, E, F, however many vitamins you want to talk about, medical cannabis or cannabis is your source. All right, so after this, we'll be back to discuss it.
National security. Recruitment is down for several branches of the military for the second year in a row. One congressman has an idea that would change all that, he says, allowing troops to smoke weed. Despite its legal status in several states, members of the military
oftentimes women able to be more empathetic or see a problem differently through a different lens. And in this day and age, as warfare develops and changes, we would be doing ourselves a disservice. Is no different than desegregating the army.
Like, help soldiers like me, females, have somebody to look up to.
According to the DoD, the number of women in active duty force was just above 17% in 2021.
Women are making strides in all aspects of our culture, so the same issues and problems that are going to come up, you just face them head on.
All right. So, and all of that, it is just imperative to understand that a lot of people have not been able to join in the military because they do drug testing. And so that was just to give you a little bit of the discrimination that used to go on and that is going on right now with women being in the military. So we want to shout out all of our women veterans, our women in military uniform. You are doing such a great job. Yes, keep up the good work. We don't know what, the future holds for women in the military, but we do know having the capability and the access, the safe access to medical cannabis is going to do tremendous wonders when it comes to doing our jobs. All right, and dealing with the PTSD. We already know the numbers are 22 veterans a day commit suicide. And so this is why we're speaking out on the medical use of cannabis and how it does help with PTSD, insomnia, and things like that, depression, and so forth. Things that women go through harder than men because we're more emotional. So it's like it will hit us a little bit more, I think, than it would most men because of, the way that we're so emotional. But in other news, we'll talk about the Miss Veteran America competition. That's right. I am a finalist, everyone. We're supporting homeless women veterans. Yes, and I'm just too excited, too thrilled. So I have a QR code. If you're by your phone or you're by your internet, go back, because we got to get this at least $1 a day, all right? At least $1 a day. It takes $25 a day, says the statistics, to help a homeless woman veteran for one day. But if everyone that I know that watches this show donate $1, we will have our $25 for the day, and we'll have enough to help women veterans. All right, so we know that it takes that. So if you all want to help me get to my mark and get to my my goal of my donation, that would be great. And if you want to come out to the finals, it is going to start Thursday. Would be your travel day. If you're coming out, or you're traveling, you're flying out, you want to come a day early. Friday, October the 6th is the preliminary competition and the award ceremony. That's the ladies' night. Okay, you all want to come out to that. That's where we're going to be doing our Ike and Tina on the 6th. And then that Saturday, October the 7th, there's rehearsals and there's a vet gala. So there's going to be a big party, a gala, that Saturday night. And then Sunday, this is the finals. This is the crowning day. So if everybody want to see if I get the crown, you all got to come out. You got to be there October the 8th and then see all of the excitement. So I'm just praying, I am working, I'm advocating. I'm literally on a journey to Miss Veteran America. And I am so glad that you all have the opportunity to follow me on my journey as I discuss and talk about all of the things that veterans need, helping women, homeless veterans, helping veterans with education, and knowing the valuable aspects, the reasons why the veterans are homeless and how to help them with the homelessness. All right, so shouts out to this beautiful woman who is the owner, the founder of the Women in Agriculture, okay? And so she had a big veteran conference, and it was this Saturday. So we did a wonderful weekend. I mean, it was amazing to go out and see the farms and to visit. There's me at one of the farms. It was such a great experience because women are the leaders of farming. I did not know that less than 1% of the farmers were black, and then less than that were, trying to get farms so that we can help out in the community with our own food and all the great stuff. So I did get a chance to visit the Martin Luther King Center. So y'all saw that I was at the Dr. Martin Luther King Center. That's where we ended our trip from the farm visit and the conference with the women in ag and the veterans in agriculture. Tour bus where we went to about 4 different farms. We went to 4 different places, and we ended up at the Martin Luther King Recreational Center and Museum, and it was great. It was pleasant because it was at that moment that I realized that the charity work, the love, the dedication, the joy of doing it all roots from Dr. Martin Luther King. It rooted from being able to be in equality. And there's another injustice that we're working on, and we're facing, and we're advocating, because this is what Dr. Martin Luther King would do. This is what the leaders would actually be out here doing, advocating for someone else other than yourself, and having the empathy, just putting yourself in the shoes of a woman or a man who served in the military, who needs us to be there for them. So there's an old saying that says, I got your 6. That means I got your back. However it goes, we want to help each other, have each other's back. And then there goes this one saying that I am going to be selling t-shirts. And then I thought about it, and I said, this is a great way to raise funds for the Final Salute Inc. and the Miss Veteran America competition. So it says, queens help other queens fix their crown, or queens help queens fix their crown when they're crooked without telling the world it was crooked. So let me pull that up. I think I said it right. All right. So it's a picture of the Queen's crown. All right. Well, we'll get back to it. It is a great, way to help other women and to let other women know that we have your back. We are going to help you out of the situation, because we don't want to see women veterans homeless forever. So we want to, sponsor and work with others. Oh yes, that was at the Dr. Martin Luther King Memorial. Truth, community, and empathy. Exactly. So we got to keep sharing it. We got to give back and help other veterans. All right. So let's go to, Final Salute Inc. is having a fundraiser tournament, and that is going to be a 2-day event. And it's going to be a 1-day event, but $50 for the registration. Make sure that 2 days of shelter for a female veteran that's homeless. All right, so you don't have to know how to play tennis. Just show up or donate your $50, and that would help. All right, and so that was the Women in Agriculture conference, and it was wonderful. Okay, so make sure you enroll in that and take care of that. So we're doing a casting call because we're having an event for back to school, and we're looking for models and talent. So the Natural to Life is our annual fundraiser, and this year we're donating money and backpacks to Final Salute Inc. So if you help us come out, your registration to be a model or to be on the talent competition that we're having, you can be helping out a female veteran, and dropping off school supplies would also be great. If you want to decide to be in the competition, your donations will count for your registration for that. All right. Oh, Mr. Henderson, what happened in the White House?
They filmed an episode of Scarface.
Oh my goodness, and they left something out.
Yeah, man. Somebody left some blow at the presidential palace.
Oh no.
Scene 36.
Oh gosh.
And it got busted. So they trying to find out who it belonged to. I think it belonged to one of them aides or one of them other politicians. I don't know, man. I don't want to say Joe Blow. I don't want to think that Joe is on the blow, man.
What?
I don't want to think that.
No.
But, hey, man, you know, anything's possible, baby. Anything is possible. Especially around these days and times, man. Ain't no telling what your government up to, man.
No telling. All right, so congratulations to the NBA. They will no longer drug test players for marijuana. All right, and 7 years after California legalized marijuana possession, cultivation, and sales, the courts are finally nearly finished expunging all the qualifying cannabis cases. So, shouts out to California. Yeah, moved a little slow, but they're expunged. Those people are free. All right, a new study shows that adults who use cannabis exhibit greater protections against head trauma as compared to non-users. Cannabis inhalation is associated with reduced anxiety, investigators reported after studying 184 subjects over a 4-year period.
I believe that.
I believe it.
Once you fire that joint up the first time, you be like, but when you let that out, you can see the anxiety float
Just
away
go
in the
away.
smoke.
Just
Yeah.
Retail cannabis legalization is correlated with fewer fatal motor vehicle accidents, and people don't realize that, but that is the truth, because when you're under the influence of alcohol, you have a different sense of intoxication or high. You are more prone to attention when you're under cannabis. You are focused more. You can see clearer because it's good for the eyes, glaucoma, cataracts. And so a lot of people don't realize that you actually need and can utilize cannabis for your just driving in general. But again, the studies have to happen. The research have to happen. And you have to understand who's going to lose money. All right?
When I smoke, I don't like to drive.
Okay.
That's probably why those numbers are much, much lower. Because a lot of people, when
they're
do
not
smoke,
going to drive.
they don't really like to drive unless it's a absolute have to, right? You know, free before 11 at the club. That's an absolute have to. You know, go to the grocery store to grab munchies. That's an absolute have to. But if you're on a road trip for an hour, 2 hours, you smoking, you don't feel like driving.
So most people are not anyway. They're going to go home, and depending on the strain, because not all cannabis is the same. Remember, I told you all that in previous episodes. So don't go back and say, oh, she told me to drive under my cannabis THC. No, there is cannabis CBD that I'm referring to. Okay, C to the B to the D. All right. So in other news, what do we have? All right, Mr. Henderson, what do you have for today?
Well, today is July the 9th.
It is.
All right. Looking at rolling out. Y'all, they get ready to roll out Fed now.
Okay.
All right, that's going to roll up on you in just a couple more days here. Banking is going 24/7. Mind the risks. Fed now will let U.S. businesses and consumers transfer money instantly, night and day. All right?
Wow.
Now, this is a story from Bloomberg. All right? Bloomberg is one of the trusted financial places. Right there is the U.S. lags the world in adopting instant payments. So, as you can see, India being the number one, the United States comes in at 1.4. The important part about that is you see Nigeria, all right? You have India, you have Brazil, you have Japan on there, Canada on there, right? The takeaway from this is there are at least 3 countries that are BRICS nations that participate in this. And what did we talk about when we talked about the BRICS? We talked about the devaluation of the dollar here. That's what we talked about. All right. India, by it being number one, y'all know when y'all call customer support at some of these American companies, when you call customer support, a lot of the payment processing infrastructures are in India, along with your IT. Right? So naturally, instant payments is a really big thing in India. All right. Some of our tech support people receive their pay already through a instant processing platform. So while we just not hearing about FedNow is the U.S. version.
Right.
All right. That's only for us. But there are other places that already have been having it. So as I said when we first started talking about FedNow, instant payments gain popularity in the U.S. All right, we already going in the wrong direction. All right, now when you're talking about instant payments, you're not just talking about FedNow. You're talking about stuff like PayPal, stuff like Instagram, Chime, right? That's what you're talking about. So don't get the FedNow confused with all the others, right? Instant payments is EFTs, ACHs, you know. The difference between FedNow and everything else, FedNow, they reconcile the accounts immediately versus Cash App. When you do a transaction on Cash App, it'll say something to the effect of, when you go look at your online banking, pending.
Right.
All right, that's the difference. FedNow, they taking their money right then, and because it's Fed, the people who don't have no business in knowing what you purchased will now know everything that you purchased. All right. Some people feel like that this is the way that the United States is going, that the government, should I say, is going to patrol the people, control the people, find out where they're spending their money at, what they're spending their money on, how much of a certain thing you're buying, and then limit that number. In Canada, when you spend over $1,000, in Canada, when you spend over $1,000, the Canadian government is tracking that transaction, right? So, it's good or it's bad? I'm sticking to the side that it's bad.
Yeah.
Anything that the government has as far as implementing it to monitor people's whereabouts is automatically bad to me. It's automatically bad, right? But the big picture, we already get monitored and tracked by the government right here. We already do. If your debit card came with the little chip, somebody's getting that information, y'all. And information is a really big business, okay? So don't think for a second that the introduction of FedNow means that the world is going to hell in a handbasket. It's already going that way, even without FedNow, okay? So the main story used to be, if you want to see things change, get out there and vote. Can't be the main thing no more. Can't be the main thing no more. You got out there and voted the last time, and you see what you ended up with. You got out there and voted the last time, you see what you ended up with the last time, and the time before that, and the time before that, and the time before that. I'm just saying, if anybody gonna come and preach to me about voting, I'm probably not the person that you want to talk to about that. That's above my pay grade. I don't get paid for that. I don't get paid to vote.
Well, but voting is great, right?
Well, yes and no. Voting works when it has a positive result on the people who participated in the election. Voting works when the politicians understand and I'm going to steal your phrase right here, when they understand the assignment. Voting works, okay? I'm not saying that voting is bad, but when you have a system in place to try to derail some of the people's votes from even mattering or counting, voting don't work. Whenever you have a politician that gives you facial service or lip service, yeah, I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna make sure that everybody gets this and everybody gets fair this, and then they get up there and don't do nothing. Did voting work? Voting didn't work. When you vote for a candidate and he's elected a candidate but does not help with GDP, does not help to lower taxes, does not help to put money back into the working class constituency who elected that official in there, did voting work? And I think that that's a real serious conversation that we need to have while we out here advocating for voting. Because a lot of people think that your work is done after you cast your ballot. The work is not done after you cast your ballot.
Right.
The work happens before you cast your ballot, right? You should be watching your politicians, whether they on the state level, or local level, or federal level. You should be watching those candidates.
That's right.
I was finna say clowns. Crooks.
Oh
Swindlers.
my gosh. All right, y'all. So I am really interested in this juicing stuff now.
Juicing.
I'm on a journey as well to lose weight, and I have discovered that juicing is going to be the best route. It's between juicing and smoothies. So here is a little tidbit of knowledge for those who want a brain health type of juice. All right, so your pomegranate is going to be your best bet. We also have your berries, like your blueberries are always great for the brain. Okay, and so if you want to get you a great smoothie that has benefits in it, check out these fruits. Again, we'll show you that quick flyer. Blueberries, limes, pomegranate, and beets. All right.
Ooh.
Yes, those red beets that everybody hate at the salad bar. Those are great brain health foods, okay? So mix those up together. Get your favorite non-fat-free yogurt or some lactose-free ice cream. And yes, get you a great smoothie, and it helps with brain. And add a little bit of hemp seeds to it or so. All right, so if you want to join the class, we have a video that promoting our school that we took from our commercial that's been airing on the radio. So if you all are V100 or V103 listeners, not V100, V103 listeners, the Cannabis School, the Atlanta, Georgia Academy of Cannabis Science in alliance with the Gift of Life Community Homes commercial has been airing, and we have that flyer in our video.
Miss the Intro to Medical Cannabis. This is a state-approved course from the Gift of Life Community Home in alliance with Atlanta Academy of Cannabis Science. To register, go to cannabisintro.eventbrite.com or call 404-631-6360.
All right, y'all heard? Did y'all hear that music in the background? Go on and tell them where that music came from, Mr. Hen.
Yeah, I made that.
Mr. Hen made that. So what Beyonce say, y'all, let's get information. I might get your song played on a radio station. Yes, we slay. We got our music and our school's commercial on the radio. So to me, that is an accomplishment. That is our journey. We will have more new ideas and new things to offer. All right, and going forward, we're also looking for sponsors. Okay, so if you'd like to be a sponsor at any of our events or anything that we have going on, please reach out to us at 1-888-959-2093. All right, so we're going to need sponsors and supporters, business owners to come on the show and showcase your events, because we always like to tell about what's going on in the community. Also, we want want you to be able to get your business showcased. So we'll showcase your business. We'll even come out to your business and do something funny, you know, something like that. Mr. Henderson always got something funny to say. So we'll get Mr. Henderson to, you know, dress up like a clown or something, you know. He'll do it. I can get him to do it, y'all. Okay, so anyway, yeah. All right.
I'm afraid of clowns.
Well,
I'm allergic to clowns.
Well, you can dress up like
y'all
something.
don't
He
get
dresses
it.
up like Santa Claus real good. Oh my gosh, I gotta show y'all the pictures. Go back and see the other episodes. He's a good Santa Claus.
I'm allergic to clowns. Y'all feel me on that? Only the real people can
Only the
understand
real
what I just
people
said. I'm
understand.
allergic to clowns. I'm just trying to stay away from you clowns.
Okay. All right. So if you all, like I said, want us to sponsor you or you sponsor the show, that means making your donation. It is tax deductible because we're a nonprofit and you can help out. We're also hiring youth. So if you have any youth that's interested in working and gaining some information on retail, agriculture, the retail finance, and also health and wellness, please send them out. And you can call us again at 1-888-959-2093, and we would be able to assist them in getting connected. See, we're the connectors. We're the people who network in the middle. So we'll submit everything to the organization that will help you get to where you need to be to work and earn some money. Well, we know school is coming back, and I do have that back to school flyer that we can share for you so that you can see what we're doing in the community right now. Go ahead. Natural to Life. Yes, sir. All right. So we have Natural to Life 2022. This is our annual back to school, talent show, fashion show, natural hair show, all under the same roof on the same day. So the expo starts at 12 p.m. and it ends at 9. So we're going to give out rewards to the best talent. Okay, so that was what our casting call was for that we showed you earlier. And now the proceeds and part of the donations for the ticket sales will go to help a homeless woman veteran. They have put their stamp approval on this event, and this will be in partner with that organization to help the young adults and the young children of those adult women veterans who need school supplies. So we're giving out school supplies to everyone, but there's certain things that we're going to donate to the Final Salute and Miss America competition. All right, so get your tickets, start giving us a call, 1-888 again 959-2093, and the pre-sale tickets are $10, all right, and $5 for kids 5 and over, and then the kids 4 and under are free. And there's $20 at the door, and for $15 for the kids and $20 for the adults. And you can get a vendor table. The prices are starting at $65 for the vendor tables. And if you want to sponsor, we can send you over a sponsorship packet. Now you will be able to get register for the backpacks if you are low income and you have proof of your low income status, like a award letter or something like that. We are giving away free school supplies. Okay, so again, we're looking for donors, we're looking for sponsors, we're looking for people who want to be part of the talent. If you have natural hair or braids or locks or twists or braid, whatever, natural hair, I'm gonna take this off, but anybody wants to donate to that organization and help us with Final Salute, that is an extra benefit of being part of the community. And we will send you a great big letter, and we'll make announcements of your business or your organization, and we will have banners and things made. Our ad booklets are also another way that we're fundraising. So if you want to get your business, we have business card sizes going at $25. We have half-page sizes going at $50, and a full-page ad going for $100. Again, this is a way that we're donating. We're getting the businesses recognized for your donations, okay? So thanks again for watching the show. Mr. Henderson, tell us anything you have left. Oh, the strain.
Oh, yeah, the strain of the day is Girl Crush. It's a hybrid strain. Girl Crush is a hybrid weed strain made from a genetic cross between Biscotti and Bad Girl. I had Biscotti, so I already know that that's good.
Okay.
This strain is a creation of 2020 Genetics, a breeder known for producing unique and potent strains. Girl Crush is 20 to 25% THC, making this strain an ideal choice for experienced cannabis consumers who can handle a potent high. Leafly customers say that Girl Crush effects include creativity, euphoria, and relaxation. Medical marijuana patients often choose Girl Crush when dealing with symptoms associated with pain, stress, and depression. Bred by 2020 Genetics, Girl Crush features flavors like gas, licorice, and kerosene. The dominant terpene of this strain is limonene, which has mood-enhancing and anti-inflammatory properties. The average price of Girl Crush typically ranges from $40 to $60 for an eighth. All right, Girl Crush is a rare and sought-after strain that can provide a smooth and velvety smoking experience. It has dense and purple buds that are covered with orange hairs and frosty trichomes. The aroma of this strain is diesel and licorice, with hints of cream and fennel. If you've smoked, dabbed, or consumed Girl Crush, leave a review. All right?
That's on Leafly, yep.
That's on Leafly.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, send a shout out to my homeboy, Charles Williams.
Shouts out.
His mother passed away 1 year ago.
No.
And he was shot by the Memphis Police Department 7 times. So my prayers go out to you, bro.
My
Keep your head
gosh.
up, man. All right, we're gonna get together soon.
Why is the Memphis Police Department shooting people?
It's just not the Memphis Police Department.
Oh.
It's all of them. All
Yeah.
of them. You know, it's always gonna be some weak links everywhere.
Yeah.
While I'm not bashing the police, but
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the police either.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of it, but I'm not just out here bashing it, talking about defund the police and all that.
Yeah, no, we're not doing
that's
that.
a bit much.
We need
Because I do believe that police or
law enforcement
officers are needed.
Right.
I don't think police are needed. I don't think that cops are needed. I think that officers are needed because officers are usually the well-trained, the one who has a involvement in the community, in their neighborhoods. The ones that walk the beats. Not just the ones that just drive the car and scowl at you, you know, like you already a suspect. Those are cops. Those are pigs. Those are, you know, those are the people at the bottom of the law enforcement totem pole.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Well, we have one last video that we wanted to talk about, and we'll be right back after this.
Punk ass popos.
Matter of national security. Recruitment is down for several branches of the military for the second year in a row. One congressman has an idea that would change all that, he says, allowing troops to smoke weed. Despite its legal status in several states, members of the military, as well as recruits, are banned from using cannabis. Florida Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz has proposed an amendment to the National Defense Authorization Act that would end the military's prohibition on pot in hopes of boosting recruitment. We're joined right now by CEO of Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America, Allison Jaslow. Allison, first of all, good morning. Should we be allowing troops to use marijuana?
Well, good morning, and thank you for having me. I think the sad truth is that service members are being held to a different standard than many of their fellow Americans in states across the country. It's, I think, close to half of states allow recreational use of cannabis these days, and also more than half of states allow medicinal use. So, for example, if there's a service member who lives in or is stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado, and wants to self-medicate to treat their PTSD or chronic pain in Colorado, they could still be kicked out of the military if they test positive for cannabis. So I think it is about time that the military got with the times, and it's great that with the recruiting crisis in the background, that Representative Gaetz has seized the moment, is trying to make change here.
But marijuana use, you mentioned, being more widespread, more socially acceptable. Does that justify our troops using it? I mean, shouldn't our troops be held to a higher standard? Marijuana does alter your senses. How in the world would the military make sure that troops weren't too high?
Well, I don't think anybody's suggesting that they get high at work. So I think, no different than with alcohol, there should be reasonable parameters on when you have to, when you're allowed to use a particular substance. For example, when you're deployed, you're not allowed to drink while you're overseas and you're in a deployment environment. Like there are barriers, like boundaries that the military can put on when you can use this. I think, as you've noted a number of times, not only on this program, but in this segment, we're also dealing with the recruiting crisis right now. And so while the American public has evolved its views on cannabis, why should we be turning away recruits and or kicking out service members when we need every able-bodied volunteer in the military right now?
But I think that for a lot of Americans, and I'm just holding the mic for some people watching at home, they want to have more people in uniform serving our country, but they want them to be on their A game. Can they be on their A game? Because it's a lot easier. I mean, I think about employees in any field of government. I think of anybody who works for a corporation. It's a lot easier, unless you're drug testing every single week, it's a lot easier to grab, get a hit and get high or smoke than it is to bring some whiskey onto the job. So I think a lot of people are wondering, how in the world do you really hold troops accountable if you have this ban lifted?
Well, I think it comes down to trust. I don't think, anybody is suggesting that people are smoking marijuana as you take a regular smoke break with a cigarette. I think, again, this is all about like whether somebody is testing positive, not whether they're using it in their daily life while they're on the job. And the reality is that there could be a service member who used marijuana, or a recruit who used marijuana 2 weeks before they decided to enlist. Maybe they don't even intend to use the substance anymore going forward, but happen to live in a state where it's fully legal and was, out with their friends and ended up, using it just before they decided they wanted to raise their hand and join the military. I think like what this amendment is probably trying to do is make sure that those people aren't being barred from getting into the military just because of simple use that happened out there.
Allison Jaslow, thank you for your perspective as always. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com.
All right, so y'all see that. Two different views. Mr. Henderson, real quick, what's your view on it?
Real quick, y'all barking up the wrong tree, all right? If y'all want to see real marijuana change or policies, man, it starts at the federal level. You got to get your federal level on. You get your federal level on, they change the laws. You don't have to worry about smoking.
Right.
But my thing is, I don't know how safe I feel if I was in the military and I smoked and then 30 minutes later I'm in a tomahawk. That just ain't gonna be right for somebody. And not everybody is a functional pot user or a functional marijuana user or a functional medicinal user. That's why you have to have labels that say don't operate heavy machinery.
Right.
Well, 80% of the machinery in the military is considered heavy machinery.
But that's what she was saying. It's not about them being on the job and smoking. It's before, because cannabis have its peak high, and it has its longevity, shelf life in the body. That the way that it's eliminated, it has a long shelf life. Like cannabis can stay in the body for 30 days.
It does.
And you can test positive on day number 28
and still get kicked out.
Get kicked out.
That's
so
a policy. That's a policy call right there. That's a policy call. Yeah. But they have no way of knowing that, that this
they're not high on the job. I got a suggestion. Make everybody take CBD oil drops before they do anything or they leave or come on the job. You have just a fountain or whatever cases of CBD. We can donate some to you, to the military, and that actually brings the high effect from THC. It counteracts the high feeling. So a person goes out, they go to the club, it's time to go home. Everybody have their own and take adult responsibility, because if you have to worry about somebody else giving it to you, then you're not really taking the responsibility. So responsibility is keeping your CBD oil with you to counteract the effects of the high. And if it's really a big policy or problem at the workplace, allowing them to take that CBD oil drop and counteract that THC high, okay? That psychosis that comes from THC.
That's wasting weed.
Well, some people, they you know, it's unlike alcohol, like I've talked about before.
Right.
Alcohol is going to be eliminated in the body over time. Cannabis can be eliminated from its intoxicating effects in, you know, a few minutes from taking CBD.
Yeah.
And you call it blow your high. I call it the adverse effects.
The supervisor called is it.
Well, you know, hey, you know, it works on the brain a little bit different. And if you're interested in getting that information, again, come out to the school. The classes are starting every Saturday. And the number to reach us is 404-631-6360 to enroll in the classes, or go to Eventbrite. And it is Intro to Medical Cannabis on Eventbrite.com.
That part.
All right. So we're glad that you watched the show. We hope that you learned some interesting information. And we hope that you all join us next week, same time, same place. Until then,
thank you for coming to the Holistic Cannabis Show, my friend.